Those labels means that we can use sometimes string values to do calculations on Power BI. In this case, this kind of calculation that we're gonna just count the number of rows can be used for a string field. Or hi everyone, Rodrigo here once again for one more Power BI video, and today I will share with you guys 6 most important aggregates function that we can use on Power BI, and we will design together in a easily way. Let's do it together. So guys, in my screen, I will just load a sample data set with you. So click once, click load data sample data. Let's work with this financial, okay? And these we have segment, country, product, discount band, unit sold, manufacturing price, sales price. Okay, everything that we needed to do this 6 aggregate functions on Power BI. So let's load this one. Power BI just will load. So we have 700 rows in our data set, so that's perfect. And then we're gonna move on this one, table view, okay, from left. So from here, guys, we are able to see the data set. We are seeing the data set displayed in front of us. From this point, we just want to select one field and then create the aggregate function. I'm gonna start with the most important one for me, in my opinion. Actually, there are 2 that are very important. The first one is the basic sum. How do we do sum on Power BI? These aggregate functions. Aggregate means that we are just aggregating some fields in order to have one single value, okay? That's the idea behind the aggregation function. Okay, the aggregate function. So for example, here I have unit sold. If I click it, I'll be able to check over here in the right side of this background in gray, which means that this field was selected in Power BI. Then I can just move a little bit right and click on here, more options. Once you click it, you'll be able to click on this new measure, okay? We create the aggregate functions using new measures because this function will be a measure in Power BI. So before the equal symbol, we have to create the name of the field. In my case, will be the sum of units, okay? That will be my measure. Then after the equal, I just have to type sum. This is the function. Once we do it, Power BI just showed us some templates here. We just have to select the one that more fit with our needs. If you are looking to see how these functions works, you just click it here and read more, this arrow symbol, and then you will see what these functions, how these functions works in Power BI, okay? I will use sum, so I can either click it here with my mouse or using my keyboard, I just click on tab. Then Power BI just assume we have parentheses. There is a beginning before the expression and the end one for close the functions, okay? So we have sum, then open parentheses, then over here, as you can see, I have to add the column name. Always Power BI just help us with this structure that works like a label for our functions. In this case will be a sum of units sold. So if I'm moving down a little bit, I will see here the name of my data source and the name of the field in this data source. So will be unit sold. Once I click it, now I have to close my parentheses. So once I close, I'll be able to click on enter, and then I have this measure just created over here, okay? I'm gonna show you after in the end of this video how to display this on dashboard, so please be there, stay with me, because now I'm gonna show you another one. Let's create a new one, a new aggregate function, the second one that is most important for me in Power BI, that will be average, okay? For example, here I have gross sales. I wanna see the average of my gross sales, which means the sum of my gross sales divided by the numbers of rows that I have in my data source. In our case, 700 rows. How do I know it? Because if I move it down here left down, I can see table, the name of table, and how many rows I have in this table. As you can see, we have 700 rows in total, which means that Power BI will just do a sum of all these values and then divided by 700. This will be my average, okay? Let's do the same. Select the field over here, go right, click on more option, new measures. Now will be the average of gross sales. Let me put it gross sales instead underline, so of gross sales. Okay, then the function will be average. Simple like that. Okay, just click on average, then tab, then the same structure as sum. So name of the column. Instead, just search over here, guys. In this case, I will just type the beginning of the name of my field, and Power BI just showed me the option that fit with my word, the word that I started over here. So gross sales, exactly this one. This is the field that I wanted, close parenthesis, then enter. Now I have average of gross sales just right here. All right, let's go to the first one, guys. This one is not that much common, but can be useful sometimes. Okay, for example, I have here my unit sold, and I want to see which value, no, not unit sold, let's work with another one. I want to see, in this case, in terms of gross sales, which one is my highest value of gross sales, because each row here means one sold, one sale, one unit that we sold. So I will just check, not one unit, is actually one ticket, right? Yes, it's one ticket. In this ticket I have 1,725 units sold with this value in gross sales, and this maybe is the net sales. Okay, sales, just sales means net sales, probably. Gross is the gross one, right? So I will just check it over here. Which ticket has the highest value in my data source? This is another method of aggregation. In this case, I want Power BI just to do a check of all my fields, so an aggregation of my gross sale, but instead to do something like combine one row with other, I want just to check in the all field, in the whole field, which value is the highest one. That's the method of aggregation that I want to use it right now. How we do it? The same structure, click it here in the field, right, more options, you measure. But in this case, I'm gonna use max of gross sales, all right? And then the function will be max. If you use it max, we'll work it like that. Okay, my max will be, as you can see over here, Power BI just showed us, returns the largest numeric value or the largest string in a column or the larger value between two scalar expressions. Sometimes we can use more than one expression to check the highest value, but in our case we're gonna use just one field, the gross sale. So I'm gonna use it. Oh, now guys, this is something nice to explain you. Once you created any measure with the expression gross, that contains gross in the expression, the name, you are able to check now and select another measure to use inside this function. Okay, you can use one function inside the other one. This is something that we can do on Power BI. Okay, but in my case I will continue with the previous field called gross sales in my financial data set. So close parenthesis, enter. Now I have the max of my gross sales over here. And then the fourth one that I would like to share with you guys is the minimum value. Instead the max, I have an average, I have the max. Now I want to know the minimum value of gross sales. How do I do it? The same way. let's repeat. Sometimes we have to repeat the process, guys. This is how we learn, okay? You have just to repeat and repeat and repeat again in order to learn more, in order to observe the concept, okay? In this case will be the mean of your sales. Then instead max, I just use min. Once you use min, you'll be able to do the same, but not the same, the opposite, the same path, but in an opposite result, okay? The aggregation will be the lowest value in this range of gross sales that we have over here. Then enter. Now I have the minimum. So I already showed it to you guys 4. Now let's do another thing. As I told you, for each row, I'm considering that each row means one ticket. In this sense, I wanna just to count how many tickets I have in my data source. I already know the number. The number is 700 row. Okay, if I go left corner over here, left down corner over here, I can see 700 rows. So this means that I have 700 tickets. I already know it, but this is just a visual from Power BI. I want to create a measure that aggregates and return this as a result for me. How do I do it? In this case, do you remember we just read some label that showed us return blah 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 maximum value from a numeric or a string or scale scalar expressions, okay? So as we can remember, those labels means that we can use sometimes string values to do calculations on Power BI. In this case, this kind of calculation that we're gonna just count the number of rows can be used for a string field or numeric fields or date fields, whatever. It's up to you, okay? Because we are looking for the row, not the content inside of each row, inside the cells. So I'm gonna just select country in this case, and then I will just put it over here. New measure. This measure will be the number of tickets. I'm gonna use tickets here. Then the expression will be count, okay? Once you put it count, Power BI will do the same, but checking the numbers of rows, okay? Counts the field country, and then close parentheses, enter, and now you have this measure over here, number of tickets. This is the 51 aggregation function that I would like to share with you, and the last one will be the same way but with a little bit different concept. As you can see over here, we have, for example, Germany more than one time, okay, in our data source. For example, I will just filter it over here, Germany, just to check. As you can see, if I'm moving down to left down corner over here, I can see I have 700 rows. However, in terms of Germany, I have 140 rows. Okay, so I have repeated rows for some countries, and I want to know, for example, how many tickets I have, but not counting the one that has the same value. For example, I want to know I want to consider Germany as only one ticket. If Germany repeat, I don't want to consider it in my count. This kind of expression we call this kind of aggregation function. In this case, we call distincted count. Okay. Once you use a distincted count, you will just considering unique values from all the fields that you have. Okay, let's do it and you will see the results later. So the same way, new measure over here, then I'm gonna use it distinct tickets, or maybe I can see unique tickets. Unique tickets will be better for me. And then I'm gonna use the count, but the count D count-d. No, sorry, not count-d. Count-d is SQL expression. I'm just doing something bad in my mind. Then let's go here and select this distinct count. Okay, this one I want to use it, and then I'm gonna put it country, close parenthesis, enter. Oh, I forgot about it over here. Let's remove. Okay, now works. We have it here, unique ticket. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 aggregate functions already created on Power BI. Let's check how it works. Okay, let's moving back to report view in the left side. Then click it over here in each measures that we created on Power BI. So let's click once here, once in max, min. Let's click, then number of tickets, then sum of units, then unique tickets. Okay, once you select it, let's just put it over here, and then we are able to check the results. So for example, guys, let's see here. First, I'm just checking the order. No, the orders are very good, so we can continue with this. So let's just check the results and see if it works. Okay, for example, here we have 182,000 as the average of gross sales, which means the sum of gross sales. Oh, let's just redo the sum of units, guys. Instead this, let's use sum of average of gross sales. Then I can check with you if this works and how this average works. How can we just adjust some measures once we already created? You just have to click it in the measure, for example, sum of units, and then you just replace over here the expression. For example, I will just replace, say, units sold for gross sales, then enter, and now I have the sum here. All right, this is the sum, but not sum of units. It's sum of, it's not sum, I would say total gross sales. Then enter. Once I do it, as you can see here, we just change it the order, right? Then I will just click it here and then moving my order. So I want to use the total gross sales above my content. So let's redo it. Let's redo all the things. So the first one will be the total gross sales. So I just selected another way. Then I want to see the average. Oh, then I want to see the tickets, as you remember, because the number of tickets means the total rows that I have it. Then I want to see the average of gross sales, which means these numbers divided by these numbers will result on this average. We're gonna check if this worked. Okay, then let's put it the min, then the max of gross sales, and finally the unique tickets. Let's check if this works. So for example, I'm gonna take my calculator over here to do the calculation with you guys. If we have 127,000, no, it's million, right? 127,931,000, 598 and 50 cents divided by 700. Let's see our average. Our average will be this. We result on this 182,759. Okay, this is the value. As you can see over here, is the same. This is the average. Then we have the minimum value. Then we have the maximum value. Here is the sum of the values. And over here we have 5 unique tickets. Why we have 5 unique tickets? Because guys, if you look at over here, I will just selected another value from my data set. The value country. Look at over here. We have 5 countries in total in our data set, which means if I want to check unique values based on country field, the results will show me just 5 as the number, right? Because I have 5 different countries in my data set. That's why we have 5 unique tickets placed over here. All right, so guys, that's how we design it. We create actually 6 aggregates function. I hope you like it. If you like it, don't forget to thumbs up. Okay, I saw that most of you just see the video and forget to thumbs up or even to subscribe, so please consider it. And if you have any comments or doubts, just leave in the comments below. I will just reply you as soon as possible. Okay, that's all for today, and see you in the next video. Bye.